Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to ESL One Cologne 2017. I am sad to report that this is the final quarterfinal of the day. But fear not, because we've got two fantastic teams to bring you action on this very stage. The former world champions, double world champions from 2016. Winners here 12 months ago at ESL One Cologne go head to head with a team who have exceeded expectations in every way. They are the underdogs. This is David versus Goliath. And welcome to the arena, SK Gaming and OpTic Gaming. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Once more, the final quarterfinal will play out between OpTic Gaming and SK Gaming.
Cologne's current champions, SK Gaming versus OpTic Gaming.
You know what, I am a fan of an underdog story, but I think this might be that one step too far.
Yeah, I mean, they've already done a great job in getting here. Let's not take that away. I mean, this is something that, especially after the major qualifier where they look so dysfunctional, this is like an exceptional performance for them to even get into the playoffs. Play on this stage, it's a great honor, a lot of experience as well. And more importantly, like, with all the kind of feelings about this team and how poorly they've played recently, it's good to have something going forward where you can point at and say, this is what we do well and this is what we need. You need to have some of that positive to be able to figure out what you're really lacking. So, I mean, at least OpTic is here on the stage and they can test some things out. This Puggy style that they're going to have, though, just naturally out of Tarek being a new in-game leader, of these pieces just kind of coming together and relying on skill, I don't think that's going to match up well against SK. You need to have a plan for when Fur's aggression works out. You need to have a plan of how to recover from those situations.
And I'd love to be proven wrong. I dare OpTic to prove me wrong. I genuinely do. I'd love to see a very competitive match. But you feel that SK, as said, only go from strength to strength when they get into situations like this. You put them on a big stage, they don't just deliver, they go further. They find more to go to. We've seen somewhat of a weakened SK throughout the groups, and the matches leading up to this point, it hasn't been flawless. It hasn't been the brand of CS that you necessarily instantly associate with SK Gaming. So there is hope, but it's so fragile and small for OpTic to do much with.
Yeah, the tough part is this becomes a whole new team when you get them in best of threes, when you get them in series play, when you get them on a stage as well. This is a whole different squad, and we saw the difference between FaZe in the group stage and FaZe here in the quarterfinals, and it's night and day. So, I mean, you have to imagine SK is going to step up in a similar fashion. Tough part is, like, there's just so many players, like, there's very few players in the world, much less on OpTic, who can match Fur and Coldzera and Fallen. Like, those three players alone just do things that, like, 99% of even the other professional players can't handle and can't do.
No, so even with that Puggy style that could maybe make them feel comfortable or give them a very one-for-one chance to a degree, you'd still chip it towards SK even on the best of times. But these are the situations where we can get proven wrong. These are the moments where things can change and we look like complete idiots, and I'd want that to happen. I want to see something brilliant out of OpTic, but you look at those odds, even at the start of the game.
Felt a bit generous, if I'm honest.
Yeah, it really was.
I mean, this is going to have to be like a Herculean individual effort. There's going to have to be some crazy performance. There's going to have to be phenomenal mid-round calls, as the war horn sounds. But there's going to have to be some great calling from the side of OpTic, some great mid-round decisions on top of someone like Mixwell, someone like Rush, just having flat out the game of their life. Think NAF at like the E-League finals. Like that needs to happen as that hard carry.
Braveheart might be able to carry OpTic through this for now, but we'll see if it continues throughout the rest of the map. We are live into the game. OpTic will be starting this one up on the CT side. SK Gaming to bring it all as they begin on T.
Yeah, bomb's going to be dropped way back towards T-spawn, spread out across the map, everyone taking a location, making sure there's no aggression, because SK realizes as well, this kind of a match, the best way for OpTic to try and get the upper hand in these rounds is doing something creative, doing something sneaky, doing something that, you know, that they're not expecting. So at the moment, keeping their eyes on everything. And actually it looks like TheFatRat might just oblige them.
If you're OpTic, you've got to be calm under these situations as well. You can't let SK get into your head. Even early game, them playing slow and building into it, daring OpTic to try and make that first move. You've got to be able to just chill out for now and wait for SK to a degree. There's
nothing more nerve-wracking in a match like this than the pistol round being this slow with no one seeing anything on the OpTic side of things. That's when you start to question. That's when you're kind of trying to figure out exactly what's about to happen to you. It's going to increase the nerves just a little bit.
But it is going to be looking like that B hit. You've got a quick rotate possibly coming out from Mixwell if he needs to. He can jump up through to ladder room. You've got two players playing very close by here. TheFatRat will be the first port of call. As now, contact is made, he spots two, maybe more, and the hit will begin. Hazed falls back, and he knows what's coming his way now.
Yeah, he's got to do a lot, though. This could be a double kill. There's very low. That's Phelps, but he can't find the kill. Now swarming into the bomb site. Rush is here, though, but they're missing everything. Oh! What a spin! Rush recovers. I don't know how he's done that. But staying alive for the moment, 2 bullets. He's trying to buy time for this flank coming in.
Yeah, Mixwell can be integral to this. There he is. He strikes, and there it is. OpTic get the first one on the board. It's a step. It's a small one, but it's in the right direction.
How has Rush done that? Not only the saving kill, but just with 2 bullets left, he even adds 1 more onto it under so much pressure. But SK weren't aggressive enough in hunting him down. He was allowed a lot of time to recover there. Quite nice from Rush. 2 kills on the round. That B stack ends up favoring OpTic in the end.
Okay, SK just testing the waters. Same sort of look, but a faster pace now. Splitting in through underpass, a flash toward B, but the rest posturing towards A, as we do already see a little bit of an, I wouldn't say necessarily information play, but a bit of a probing play from Hazed. Has to be a little bit cautious. No one's really watching connector at the moment. That could be an issue. Mixwell and Rush aren't far, but his back's rather open.
Bomb again dropped towards T-spawn, so interesting. If SK decides to commit, that would be a little bit of a mistake on their part. Mixwell's going to get the opening kill, aggressive towards connector, and there's Rush in the window room as well. OpTic challenging all across the map and losing a couple in the end. They started off so well, but it's been traded down to a 3-on-3, and this is where things get tough. This is where SK can really, really outplay you.
The bomb should come into play eventually if OpTic can last that long, but TheFatRat's in a fight with Fallen. He's just not going to win, it seems, and Naf now has to respond accordingly. Flash comes in. Ramp is completely flooded with players as well. You can see him over by Tetris. That's called Zera as Naf finds position by the boxes. And now Rush trying to get involved, but caution aired here as Naf waits for the final player. It is Tarko with a deagle, a 1v2. Certainly viable, just needs that one shot to land cleanly, and he's not going to get it done. Naf there secures the round, but costly at best.
Yeah, costly, but they're going to be all right with it because SK invested a lot as well. No chance of them, I mean, no plant as well with the bomb being dropped so far back, so no real chance of SK buying into this one. That'd be a little bit crazy. Maybe a bit too aggressive with the money at this stage in the game, certainly. But yeah, I mean, you could see in that 3-on-3 when things slowed down, that's when SK really, really kind of mind games. You could see TheFatRat with the overextension. The problem with that kind of a play is just, it doesn't feel like an overextension at the time, right? Because no one knows what's going on. Nobody has any idea what's happening across the map. So TheFatRat's just feeling like he's going to try and find some information, but just completely caught off guard.
Yeah, things get a little bit changed up when you get to situations like this, but Mixwell spawning out towards mid. There could be that boost coming through. Fur and Phelps can help the pinch in, but Pistols is only beside SK. They don't have much more. Phelps is still going to make a play happen, and he gets an M4 out of it. That's a worry. It scares me when OpTic are like this, but I guess in a way they need this aggression to a degree. They want to play that kind of overzealous Puggy style. You make some severe losses, but SK can punish this at maybe a different conjecture. This isn't the moment for it, but so you've got to be keeping that in the back of your mind.
It's the old cliche, right, where OpTic really do have to force SK to respect him. If they don't in these early stages of this match into the opening gun rounds, it could just be a landslide. But the tough part is with Phelps salvaging this M4, oh, that's almost a kill. It could have been. But I mean, that's when it starts to get expensive. In this round, if Phelps is able to add some kills onto it, Taco with the deagle can't recover the aim punch. They know exactly where Phelps is as well, so it shouldn't be a whole lot of danger, but he does get one, can almost get two. Rush there, and I think Phelps thinks he has him a little bit lower. But still a chance to take some economy out of the hands of OpTic.
This is getting so costly. The bomb's in a terrible spot, and there it is. Hazed Going to secure the first 3. They recover the guns as well, so they keep some of those rifles up. A little low on Mixwell, but he can be dropped out. But first 3 on the board, Jason. You know, we said this is a long road for OpTic. They've got to keep this up. This is the first real test. SK now with a decent buy, not perfect by any degree. A Galil in the hands of Fallen, so operating than less than optimal. But this is where the real test starts.
Yes, it certainly does, and they're going to be aggressive with it. They want to take control. Once again, force the respect. There's the op from Mixwell. It misses, but the push up. Phelps stops it cold. Rush gets one, but can't trade off the other. Mid control for SK. I think OpTic's got to back off this now in a 3-on-4, but Naf adds one more before he does so. That's quite nice.
Yeah, keeping it even, and especially with Tarek staying alive, that's so important. He was almost caught there. You saw Fur have a second to maybe make something happen, but no, for now, SK do gain mid control, but they've lost a lot for it. Now the rest of OpTic don't really have much information as to where the rest of them are, but they're being a bit aware of it now as Mixwell strikes. Fallen goes down, and we're down to 2 players, Cold Zero and Fur. This could be massive. Bomb spotted too, surely. And the other 2 players for OpTic just split on the extremities. Naf even going for a bit of a walkabout.
All right, so run boost over the mid-cross. They do have a smoke to use for that on Fur. Maybe not wanting to give it up quite yet, but either way, the op isn't peeking it at the moment. And for now, the big play coming in is Naf and T-Spawn. Yeah, that mid-control is very, very costly for SK. It's all about OpTic finding a way to get information to be able to sync up with teammates. At the moment, Tarek and Naf are working well together despite being on other sides of the map just to clear out those B apartments. Even Mixwell with a lean over.
Yeah, Naf has kind of herded his way around, allowing Tarek to get the information that he's gathering. No one directly watching B yet, but they're very prepared for it. Cold Zero could be in for a surprise if Naf gets his skates on, but timing is everything. 20 seconds now, they know it's got to be B, and they line up, and Naf right in the back here, keeping hopes alive for the North American side. It looked a bit dicey there, but SK get dealt with.
Yeah, it took him a long time to get there, and that was just, that's OpTic just making those plays on the map, just feeling very proactive, very comfortable, not feeling any pressure whatsoever, knowing that if they just say spread out 3 people across the map the way they were originally, they're just going to end up losing that round. It was just a matter of time. So finding the info and making the correct rotations. 4-0. Continuing to surprise is OpTic.
Hey, you know, we've just been underestimating them, you know? They were waiting, building up to this.
That's fair play.
Look, I just want to see when you start having hope. That's the thing that I'll enjoy.
When you hear the hope in my voice.
Exactly, and then I watch it being torn away by SK. That's what I really enjoy about these matters. But that's a long way off yet. 4 rounds is great. It's good when you're an underdog. But it's nowhere near close enough to get you winning a game against SK Gaming.
You just feel it's always what happens in some of these matches. You feel like there's always that one force buy, that one anti-eco that goes sideways that just kind of ruins the entire half. This one could be it. Armor and pistols bought up, 4 smokes as well. This is very similar to the pistol round though, and also, I mean, the first gun round, I mean, just kind of watching these spots at the opening, and this is now under a minute left, and SK still haven't made their move.
Finally, the smoke towards top mid goes out, but I don't know how much else they really have to work with. There's no one really easily picked up unless OpTic do something ridiculous. I hope that Mixwell does nothing to let this fall, and Taco starts a little bit of a look. Good shot towards Phelps. Waits for the play out of Palace, a good read as well. But while this happens, it's all but a ruse. As said, it's going to be that B hit. 3 players come through. Tarek in a great spot there. Controls the spray well. And SK are getting nothing. Ooh, out of bullets, but it doesn't matter. Support arrives in time. Rush to the rescue. And OpTic make it to 5.
It's actually a pretty good call from SK. They actually pulled the rotation off the B bomb site. Rush started to rotate. He even dipped further back towards CT spawn. So there's a small pocket there for SK to hit, but they kind of missed that timing. As soon as Phelps got taken down, Rush rotated back towards the B bomb site, realizing Taco is the only player at A. So back onto the rifles, 5-0. Fallen on the AWP, plenty of utility. Mixwell taking a blind shot into the smoke.
Oh,
that's an awkward flashback.
Nailed it. Question is, Jason,
yes.
When do you start getting excited
When
for
do
a
I start
CT
getting
side here?
excited?
When's that marker?
16?
To just get you a little, you're literally waiting that long. You're so used to the NHO, it's like, nah, if I don't see that 16, didn't happen.
Well, we'll wait, because we know SK is like the masters of adapting to adversity, right? I mean, they always do it against the best teams in the world. They find a way to put rounds on the board. So you have to imagine at some point, no matter how successful OpTic is, they're going to find a way to get enough rounds going into the second half. The question is always, does OpTic have that presence? Does OpTic have that ability to do it with all the kind of disadvantages they have?
Well, Fallen gets thrown towards middle, but no one's playing it this time for OpTic. They're looking for something different. 4 players stacked towards A, maybe a read, maybe just a feeling. Maybe just cautious of trying to fight SK in middle. Never an easy task. Good flash comes in, hinders Rush from being able to see anything. Fur, Phelps, Fallen, and Coldzera start to gain that control, but yet no frags on the board. 45 seconds now.
Oh, this is quite cool. Hayes, it's all in timing, and that one's not with him, unfortunately. Taco is way, way deeper in Palace than he expected. Now, SK is poised to do this. This could just be a disaster. 4 players in connector. Phelps boosted up in window. Mixwell's looking the wrong way. There's Phelps. Again, the timing is just working out. Rush is feeling so lonely, and he spots one out. Did they not see him? Fallen could go for free here, and he's going to get the planter at the very least, and there's Naf to chime in.
It's all falling apart. How has no one seen Rush? How has he been allowed to do this? This 2v2 is more than possible. Look at the play coming in from short. That's Tarek. He can find Fallen, or he should find Fallen. There it is. Now the 1v1. Phelps. Can you keep it together under this pressure? No is the answer. Rush does something incredible there. Somehow isn't spotted, gets away with murder, and saves the round that was all looking SK's.
How does Fur not see him here? So he's, and Fallen with the call, oh, he just doesn't get around, and that Molotov kind of ruins everything. That's really unfortunate. I feel like that was a team Molotov as well, but Rush, what a beast inside this bomb site. Capitalizing on small mistakes, 6-0. SK does not lose a lot of rounds like that.
Oh, Jason, there's a smile. Oh, oof.
It's happening.
You're going to steal JDM's little headband again and just be like, it's time.
That was a gift, Lauren.
Oh.
From one man to another.
I shouldn't have about stealing. Let's be honest, there's been mice going missing. It's, oof, a bit touchy, but we do have the pause. Now, if you're OpTic, you're sat there feeling not necessarily great about the overall situation. You're still playing SK, but to force them into a pause like this quite early on, it's got to feel quite good.
Yes, I mean, it definitely does. It takes a lot of pressure off. I mean, when you go into this game as OpTic, I mentioned the nerves are a little bit high at times, and you really are feeling that. You feel like, yes, you've had all these great upsets in the group stage to even get here, and you're still worried about this game. And going up 6-0 relieves a lot of that pressure. That's when you start laughing, start smiling. Rush probably feels like he's had a lot of things go his way, go the right way, so you're not feeling like you're getting the short end of the stick on any situations.
Well, a lot of the timing in the round leading up to Rush's moment was really favourable to SK. So it's got to feel good that something works in your favour, but we do see a massive alien from 3 players from SK. Whether or not they actually do much with it, as the bomb's not with them yet, and you still have Fur and Phelps to play into this, yet to be seen. But Naf in a new spot, Hayes in a new spot. They're really switching things up here.
Yeah, trying to get ahead of the curve, it seems like, and this might just work out in their favor by the end of it. No AWP on Fallen this time, which I guess isn't necessarily a huge deal because he hasn't had a whole lot of impact with it, and there's Mixwell with the opening kill. Taco walks right into it. He tries to be aggressive, tries to peek out of Palace. It's going to fall, and now Fallen, speaking of which, has spotted Rush inside the bomb site. Hayes is right there, though, for the support.
Love those flashes. I remember Taz doing them so long ago, just from that dark spot over by the ladder. Perfect, either to Palace or to ramp. Always really nice to play out. But there's a play coming in through mid. They've kind of given up mid control, playing through the sites themselves mostly, 3 by A, 2 by B. SK, they had this before. They had the control in mid. They had that real blunder with Rush. So they know this can work, but they're having to do it with 4 players this time.
Yeah, Rush has got a lot to keep his eyes on as well. He's got to keep track of CT spawn and back towards the A bomb site just in case. This defensive setup from OpTic has given mid-control over to SK. Can they leverage it this time? Phelps has fallen over towards B. That's a nice shot from Tarek, and now this gets so difficult.
Yeah, Rush considered leaving. You could see him just gravitating towards B, but he knows better. He comes back. Naf's still in a good spot. Hayes is fighting the good fight for OpTic, but now they have to deal with the brunt of what SK can bring. The 3 players encroach the site. You can see the pressure starts to build, and Hayes doesn't care. I don't know what I'm seeing, Jason. It's 7-0 to OpTic. That's how I feel right now. This guy gets it.
That guy definitely gets it. He's so confused. Oh, it's brilliant from Hayes. Really nice performance, and this is why he can be such a good role player at times. Knowing his what he's supposed to be doing in that situation as the bomb site is getting pinched. All he has to do in a 5-on-3 is stay alive. His mind isn't saying take the duel and win it and kill one of the SK players. It's saying stay alive, lure them a little bit closer to the bomb site where I have a teammate in closet, where I have Rush coming up from CT spawn. Make sure they're committed to 2 separate crossfires we have set up, and he plays it perfectly. He even winds up with the kills anyways.
Do you know what, Jason? I'm gonna start believing a little bit here. Do you know what?
Are you?
No one else will, it seems. Everyone wrote off OpTic. I wrote off OpTic. You looked at this and it was like, it's the quarter, that's the one clear-cut result. And they didn't care what any of us thought. So you know what? Credit to them for just keeping it so damn clean thus far. Tarek, don't let me down now. Taco's already going to take his head off, and as soon as I believe, of course, this happens, Rush has to back out. They've got to forgo the site. They need to play retake now.
Oh, it would just be so fitting
Stop
after
it.
you say that.
Yes, Rush, come on!
Nice shot from Rush. Naf's going to be next up on the retake. Phelps is low over towards bench. Fur's going to be on the flank though, and this has got to hurry up.
Yeah, timing is going to be an issue soon, but they still have mollies. Naf with a great connection towards Fallen, and you can see the flank coming in. Slowly but surely, Fur tries it, and Hazed, he's having none of it. And there's the last man, it's coldzera, and a miracle is what you might need, and well, he's delivered them before! Oh my word! That was a little too close for comfort, but again, it's going to be 8-0, and OpTic are yet to drop around.
Yeah, you almost saw it coming there. A couple more seconds, perhaps. Yeah, this is what's happening, Lauren?
Do you know what? I'm going to give ESL and the cameraman a bit of a challenge. Find the OpTic fan going absolutely ballistic in the crowd, because there's going to be a few, but the SK guys outweigh them a little bit. I'm not going to lie. You walk around here, there's a lot of SK jerseys. Find the OpTic guys. Go find them, guys. This is your challenge. Not in this round. Don't cut to it yet. You know, this is quite important. Double orbs coming out for OpTic. Mixwell and Tarek going for this one.
Yeah, Tarek's going to be over towards the B bomb site. Mixwell going to be in window room in the mid. Hasn't seen any presence. Oh, this is going to be going right at the B bomb site. This looks like it's going to be a split, Lauren. Running the gauntlet up catwalk. And Mixwell's going to take out the first one. So already on the back foot is SK. It's a 5-on-4. Taco's even brought down pretty low. Looks like Tarek tagged him up, maybe with a nade.
But I like that Hayes and Neff are being proactive as well. Even though there's nothing coming towards them, they're at least trying to gain the ground towards ramp to ensure that there's no one there. They can fall back quickly off it, maybe take some solace in that. But there's still threat from Fur. He can throw a bit of a curveball at them and keep them guessing in this short play coming through Fallen. Oh my word, Rush has no idea what he's showing here. Shows a little bit of leg. And oh, Fallen takes off Tarek. And this is just huge now. He's going to open this side up by himself. There is Mixwell there, but he's a little late to the party. But Hayes is trying to keep this together. The bomb's still at the top of mid. This is still controllable. Yeah,
that bomb that we've seen it a couple times out of SK, leaving the bomb very far behind of where they want to execute and where they want to finish the round. So it's giving time for OpTic to get in a position to prevent this from happening. Cold's already in the B bomb site. Fallen's working his way up, but he's going to have a challenge here if he tries to cross. Mixwell, that's the kill he wants. Oh, Fallen ducks underneath it. That's sick. Finally, his op comes alive. 3 kills in the round so far.
When everything goes wrong, you still feel that Fallen can do this and bring everything back on track, but the flank is en route. That's hazed. Naf needs to be in this too, but Fallen's still prowling. He wants to lock this one down. He knows his team needs this. Hazed, Naf, nothing else now to play with. The utility's gone down. Naf tries to make a play instantly. coldzera says no, it's on Hazed. A 1v3 looks a little improbable, a bit impossible. And as soon as you think you got a chance, Taco is there.
Well, round 1 on the board. They say the first one is the hardest. We'll see if SK can build upon it, but this is just sick stuff from Fallen. A little bit of a benefit. You said, you know, Rush showing a little bit of leg. It was like half his body, just not quite aware that what's going down here. But Fallen has a big impact at this time.
Wait, did you find the NA fan? Is it? That looks like a Cloud9 tank top.
That does look like a Cloud9 tank top.
No, incorrect. OpTic, find it. There's got to be someone out there, guys. But so far, the man against them, Fallen has a plan in mind, and if no one else is going to do it, he'll do it himself. If he has to do this every single round, we've seen games where he can. But OpTic, again, prepare for what's coming. They've completely left mid this time, and you're seeing the extremities being pressured a little.
Gonna get aggressive behind us. Yes, he is. coldzera just pre-fires the angle. There's the op as well. Another 5-on-3. A great opening in the round for OpTic. SK having no fortune in the starts of their rounds.
I love it. I absolutely love it. 1, seeing SK push to what they can bring. 2, seeing OpTic actually shine. Fallen just looking for anything. Hoping there's a play maybe by jungle, fancying their odds towards connector. Maybe OpTic could be punished. But Fur's got a good position here. Boosted up towards window, but look at Rush. Oh, just backs away. Fallen finds Mixwell. It all could fall apart here, couldn't it? Fur now strikes. It's looking vulnerable. B could be the target, but there's one man in their way, and it's Tarek. The guy who's caused all this kerfuffle, who's changed what people think about OpTic so far. Maybe there's something to be seen with these guys, but no. Are they changing this up, or is this just a ruse? They're going to send Fur through connector. Tarek, how smart are you?
Very smart. It would have been, oh, he's on the gun barrel. That's a nice shot. Great information as well. Phelps is the only one left in the B apartments. Fur's trying to do something. They know his presence is on A, and this actually might pull the rotation over towards the, especially if he gets a kill.
Tarek, no. But Phelps doesn't know what's happening either. Again, he's going to go towards A. Hazed is on a flank right around spawn. This is a ridiculous round, and look at the time. 13 seconds. Hayes might have just spotted them as well. They've got to go for the straight plant. There's no two ways about it, and it's going to be for connector. That's all he can do. We need to see what Hayes can see. 5 seconds. Oh, it's done! They can't plant. They just got to stay alive. OpTic Gaming, another step in the right direction.
And they've shut down the economy as well. That's a reset run. They're still going to buy in this because Taco has 5,700 and Fur and coldzera sitting right under 4,000. So likely going to be another buy for SK. But OpTic, I'm actually amazed that they read that properly because it looked like SK didn't even have any idea what was going on. Kind of juggling between which bomb site they were faking and committing to. Crazy, crazy stuff.
Oh, these are the games that make you question, don't they? The amount of people who said, you know, with those best of ones, you know, you've got a skewed playoff, semi-finals, could be that great. Well, you know what? So far, I'm pretty on for this. Hayes, though, a little bit too much to handle, maybe. Can he be helped out by his teammates? Mixwell's already found Taco, so he's staying alive, buying so much time. He's a real threat, a real nuisance. How's he still got a kill? Finally Fallen's there, but the rest of his team are gone. It's down to 2.
Yeah, it took way too long to get that kill. Hayes just holding down the fort. All the OpTic players are here, and even firing through the smoke. coldzera is supposed to be coming on catwalk to help support or to play a post plant, and he's got nothing. He's got all 4 players to find. We'll see if he can do it. Tarek peering in his direction as well with an M4 this time. There's the peak. He's been found out, down to 34 HP, and now 0. 10-1. Still no timeout from SK.
I know, there was one earlier.
There it is.
You called for it and it shall appear.
Yes.
So let's take this into context, because people tuning in will just think that the graphics are wrong and it's the names the wrong way around, right?
Yeah.
It's 10-1 and it's to OpTic in a big stage environment, and there's no reason to put this into any other context, saying, I knew it from the start, OpTic was always going to do this. No. That's a lovely sound.
That is a lovely sound.
Who brought the Vuvuzela or whatever it is, like the foghorn in here? Why have you done this? I'm so sorry to anyone sat around them. But OpTic Gaming, how is this working? How is this being applied here?
I mean, a big portion of the success, two big things to me that are sticking out is one, the ops have been so successful. I mean, Mixwell with the AWP, Tarek's had a couple opening kills, and even just when you think the mid-rounds, when things slow down, I mean, those ops, or the slow kind of play is really susceptible to those AWPs when utility is kind of running short. On top of that, OpTic's had some really, really good openings to their rounds, being aggressive, getting some decent trades, like, you know, the pop flash peek towards A ramp, the push into A halls with the AWP as well. They've done a lot of great things to give themselves small advantages in rounds, and it's paying off. Hayes might be going for too much here, but he's just full of confidence, isn't he? 1 kill onto Fallen. He's going to keep that up. Jumping down, pop flash over the top. It's quite nice, and Naf now has just got to be careful. One behind him, but Taco doesn't want to go through that smoke.
No. Not feeling that at all, and I don't blame him, I wouldn't either. And it's the run towards B, it's running the gauntlet, and it's not a nice one. There's a man with a gun at the end, that's pretty much the worst you could hope for. Tarek, tuning it out, bombs down, he's happy. He's done his job, Molly goes in. Nice. The peanut is still there.
It's still in
but
there
it's
somewhere.
working.
Yeah.
It's rattling around, and it's making things happen, so I do not oppose it. I'm a big fan. Fur goes down. Taco now, your last man, looking for damage, trying to do anything with that deagle. But you know what? This is going to be 11-1.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah. I mean, bold calls from Pansy.
Hey, I believed in OpTic early. All right, you know, I'm the one and only fan.
Did you get on that train when it was 6-0?
Definitely. No doubt ever in my mind. See, they've still yet to find the OpTic fan. I'm waiting for it, guys. I see Na'Vi jerseys. I see face. I see everything else. Where's your OpTic, boys?
I think after the major qualifier, they just kept them packed up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the big thing coming into this. That's why this is so surprising in particular. I mean, we've all known they still have all the skilled players, and all these players can do great things. It's just it hasn't really come together since December.
We've seen a fair few North American teams doing this. Like, what, CLG had that decent run in DreamHack.
What a shot.
Mixwell. Nothing's stopping him. He is one of the players having a great game. Often questioned on his consistent performance, but so far this AWPing, this impact he's having a good read there as well towards underpass, reading the play that SK wants to bring, and he's still here, unscathed, unpressured. Well, you know, smoke goes in, gives him more room to play, kind of baiting them in. Why don't you have a little go towards connector? Oh, Fur's up for the challenge, isn't he?
Really, really nice shot by Fur, being aggressive. But I mean, you look at this, 3 players at the A bomb site for OpTic Gaming. The reason they can do this is Tarek has a very wide angle into those B halls. He's peering very, very deep. So he can call for a rotation pretty early on when he's spotted out. The question is, can he get away in time? SK readjusting over towards the bomb site. This could be a surprise. Actually, Hayes is there, but he misses a bunch of shots, recovers nicely. Taco wasn't prepared for it whatsoever. Molotov towards connector, prevent any kind of split coming to the A bomb site. That helps his teammates out a great deal. Now setting up.
Naf has been pretty spot on with this. Hazed as well there in support. You can see Naf baiting them in, does so much damage as well. That plays Hazed perfectly into this. But you can see that SK are being cautious, but 30 seconds remain. They have to take a gamble and a risk soon. Hazed so badly wants to swing on this. You know he's dying for it. Tarek, though, finds Phelps, and here it comes, and there it is. Hazed finds one, but the second, he can't do it. Fallen stays alive, but 20 seconds and a 1v2. Surely too far for even Fallen.
Rush has an HE grenade as well. Even if that AWP doesn't clear him out, that can be an HE on the plant spot, and it's all over. OpTic with a massive lead. What a surprise it has been. These are the kind of performances out of Mixwell that makes you, when you read him in interviews, you're like, yeah, I really hate OpTic. Like, I really just don't want to do it anymore. It actually, it makes me miserable in life. You're just like, please stick with the AWP.
Stop. Yeah, but the thing, just get Alex, if the analysis guys want to just put Alex on the test, ask him about how he feels seeing Mixwell say about the AWP, because Alex tries his best, old machine, and then he sees Mixwell saying that, and then he's just an absolute beast. Like, why are you like this? Embrace it. Embrace what you're good at. Speaking of what they're good at, so far OpTic continuing this win further, 12-1, a scoreline that just seems so wrong, yet kind of right so far. Tarek gonna hold the deeper angle. This guy's been getting away with this a hell of a lot, considering SK traditionally did this so early on with their CT sides on Mirage. Kind of strange to see them not being able to punish it.
Rush guards his back. Taco's gonna try and make a play out Palace, but he's not seeing anything. One shot is all it takes, and there it is, and a second, the follow-up. It opens up the bomb site for just a moment. The rotation is on. Do they have enough to really capitalize on this, though? Scout on Fallen, no armor. Just the Deagle still on Taco. Hasn't been able to salvage a weapon. And OpTic playing this one patiently.
They're playing full retake. They've got mollies and utility to kind of play back into it. SK desperately want one more kill and they'd feel good, but if they commit any further, you know they're going to walk into it and give a little bit away, but bomb's going to go down. Taco does get himself a gun now, so...
Look at the utility. Look at the utility on the retake. 3 smokes, 1 Molotov, HE grenades as well. This is going to be so difficult for SK to defend against.
One of these two players will have to hit something blinding to just give them a shot. That could be it. Fallen gets things started with Rush, but it's now a 2v2. But here comes the utility, surely, to flush them out. They've got to start doing this, and you can see Fallen wants it. Oh, the tag as well. Fallen, he can't make it happen. It's down to Taco, who got this one started. Can he finish this? Time. Tarek doesn't have it. He's got to go for this right here, right now. And Taco knows it. He takes the fight and he wins it. Brilliance from Taco. 4 kills in a situation that was never meant to be his. But he makes it stick.
Very smart from Fallen as well. Stuck inside the bomb site, knowing he has to get aggressive. And that kind of aggressive stance from Fallen, I mean, the one kill, the tag, but it prevents OpTic from even using their utility. They weren't even in position to properly throw the grenades. Playing it very passive on the retake, and it doesn't pan out. Not able to group up sufficiently to trade some of those kills. Unfortunate. OpTic had themselves at a great advantage. And look at the buy they have coming out. It's not very strong. You can just see how tenuous this has been at times. Great pop flash. Completely blind up mid. But he's going to win it anyways, and actually 2 kills come out for OpTic.
I don't know what's happening here. This is not normal. It's rare. It's a bit of a gem. Hazed with the angle. And Taco again sat there like, well, I'm pretty sure they know where I am. I've been here almost every single round. And Mixwell ensures it. A 13-2 score on the half. Jason, you starting to believe a little bit, at least in map 1?
I have no words. There he is. There's the OpTic fan. There he is.
Did you just go and buy that?
Congratulations.
You just went and bought it, didn't you? You've been to the shop. I appreciate that. Dedication, good work. But what a phenomenal half for OpTic Gaming, earning their place on the stage. Who has the right to tell them they can't be up there when they're at this sort of scoreline? It's map 1, it's half 1, it's not over. Do stay tuned. We'll be back in a second. The unthinkable, the unimaginable might just be happening at least on map 1. We never want to get ahead of ourselves because Jason will start feeling hope. And that'll be a feeling he's never had. And we don't want it to start now. It's 13-2 on a half.
Listen, to whoever that lone OpTic fan was that was on camera at the end of the last half, our boy Hector wants to give you some love. Find him on Twitter. He was asking who the OpTic fan was. Probably get some cool swag out of it. He's a good guy. Go find him. And this is insanity. 13-2 OpTic. A pistol run all but secures it.
All right, OpTic fans, this is your chance to get loud. SK have had their time in the sun. They've had the crowd roar for them before. And look at those odds change. That's something to put a smile on your face.
1-5 at one point, I think it was.
There we go, boys. This is the game I wanted to see. I was feeling a little tired. I was feeling a little bit drained. It was a lot of CS today. But now, suddenly, I've got a little hope. It's all changing around. I've become a positive person. Anyway, OpTic, you've got to keep this one up, though. SK, they'll still make this hurt. You won't get an easy win no matter what you're going to be in for, and they know it. Look at the composure they're having to bring into this.
No aggression from SK. OpTic's going to readdress over towards the other bomb site, crossing through T-spawn. Still not a lot of mobility from, I mean, Fur's dropped down window. He's at the bottom of mid. He's peering into underpass. He's peering towards top mid. He sees absolutely nothing, so SK's got to be equally confused as well. There's smoke on both Tarek and Naf. They're lining him up right now for a hit towards this A bomb site. It's going to be Fallen and Phelps that'll draw the first attack. Fur will be there to help out.
Fallen can't fall off this. He needs help. Already Phelps was so blind and Fur wasn't exactly there quickly. He got isolated. The hit comes in. And it does well until that point. Phelps not under pressure until now. He got away with a bit of murder. Taco comes in and the timing is right. SK drop the hammer on OpTic finally. They were getting away with it. SK showing that they're not going to let this slip no matter what. We'll get those rounds back. We'll do what we have to. Phelps going to ensure that.
This is why SK is still going to be such a hard team to close out, even at 13-2. I mean, one small mistake, there's a tiny gap in those two smokes, and that's how Fur gets a kill on the planter when he goes to get the bomb down. And because that bomb drops, that forces all of OpTic to be aggressive, and that's where they just get wiped out.
Hey, the new coach.
Unofficial.
Unofficial.
Yeah.
I thought he was into it at the moment. I thought it was
we have no official release from the OpTic organization.
But he did pretty well with CLG. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is the unofficial thing. You know, he sat there like, I've been watching the demos for hours. Maybe. Nah. Not going to get it. Fur having his way with them.
He's had enough, hasn't he?
He's
right
like, I need this.
Tarek's the next one up. Is Fallen going to keep that? He is, but Fur's again going to take that one out. 3 kills for him. It's just Rush and Haze. And yeah, they upgrade some pistols, but I mean, you can see there's no armor on these two players. They actually, they have an all right amount of money behind them.
Yeah, this is just farming time. This is fine, though. OpTic know that you're not going to have a walk in the park no matter what the scoreline is. SK, but the thing with SK is they have to keep it flawless. They can't feel low on money. They can't be punished. They can't make a mistake. And they're a team that can do that, but it's just not come on. And there it is. Finally found Fur. Simply having enough, shaking off that first half.
Fur puts him on notice, right? He's like, all right,
just remember.
Time for me on CT side. Time to teach a lesson. Either way, it's still a long way to go for SK. This is an incredible performance out of OpTic so far. We'll have to see what they have in store for the gun rounds on this terrorist side. Really, really dictating the pace from the CT side of the map. You'd expect that to be able to continue on at least the offensive half. Couple of flashbangs on the OpTic side.
What was that frag movie? Is it Pub Masters?
Pub Masters?
Yeah, I want to see that. It's almost impossible to make happen in CSGO.
Pretty sure it's completely impossible.
But you know what? I kind of want to see it. Somehow, OpTic, make it happen for me. But no, they're on a very low buy, of course. Just a P250. That's on Rush. Great flash, great farm, free farm. 5 kills, no worries.
Well, now it begins. Now we see what this match is going to be like in these gun rounds. Although SK, even down 5-13, this is a bit of a risk, keeping the 3 UMPs, a FAMAS, and 1 M4 on Fur. If they win this, though, I mean, it can balloon that economy to sustain them, obviously. This is that bonus round we always refer to, although coldzera does upgrade to an AWP right at the last second. So a little bit more firepower in the lineup now, realizing they just have to get on the board. They can't afford to really risk a bonus round when they're down this much.
coldzera can be a game changer as well, we know it. Putting it up in his hands, always looks well suited. Mixed well. Actually avoids a lot of damage from that nade. He gets out pretty free, and he was a a very large part of what was working incredibly nicely for OpTic in that CT side. So for him, if he gets going now on the T side, as he does have that AWP to hand, that could be a very big factor if he starts feeling out the game a bit, takes a couple of fights there. And we know it's going to take a very small margin for OpTic to grind this game out here.
So difficult for SK to gain clean mid control on their own T side. It looks like OpTic at least threw some of the nades for it, but I think Derek, yeah, he realizes he has the bomb. It looked like he was rearing to go. Hold back. Well, Naf's going to be in Palace, and they're all readjusting across the map.
Fallen.
Yeah.
Why are you like this, Fallen? OpTic is starting to have fun. I am the no fun police. I will not let you pass. These are my stairs. Get out. OpTic, though, gonna have to run the gauntlet at some point. Hopefully they check. They've had no step towards A early on, so they have to have a feeling that's, oh god, please, please, please. Fallen, if he gets flashed in here as well, turns for it. They do peek, but Mixwell just gets overrun. The support comes in from Phelps, but Fallen still finds 2. That's good. That's great impact. But still a 3v3. T-side starting to wane a little bit on time. They need the site, they need the plant, and they need to do it quite quick.
Fallen pushes through. They're all blind. Great pop flash from his teammate, but it was right into a Molotov. Pretty decent risk to take with the UMP. Now it's Fur's turn. The ever aggressive. What has he got here? Decent crossfire set up at A stairs. Gets him to this position. Post plant. That's out in the open. Hayes, he gets punished. Naf gets dinked. They know where he is now. It's Cold Zera. Just got attacked. Oh, he's completely blind. That flashbang hurts so much. Derek out in the open. Cold recovers down into a one-on-one.
What's going on here? How has this become possible? He's got to know where that final player is, but the bombs are planted for Tarek. But he's still there catching the cross. A brave move indeed.
That's so smart from Tarek as well to take that peek. The bomb not being planted for him. That had to have been a call from your teammate saying it's planted default. It's not planted for you. So making sure he can't get to the bomb, but you can see this fight so scary. Crossfire set up as well. Phelps peeks as soon as Fallen gets the aggression, but I don't think he's expecting them to be that far back waiting for it. Pretty common setup. Either way, 14-5 now. SK, because they didn't invest a whole lot, they have a great buy into this round.
Yeah, AWP on Fallen this time, not Cold Zera, so mid becomes a little bit scarier if that's even possible.
I think everything becomes a little bit scarier.
Yeah, it really does. We saw how much he was able to impact on that first half once he got the AWP, but he made some game-changing moves. Maybe not allowed to do that sort of damage this time around, but OpTic really vying for mid here.
He used a lot of utility to get this as well. They only have 1 smoke left, 2 Molotovs as well. They're going to be hurting when they eventually find somewhere they want to commit. There goes that last smoke. They better make it count. Flash is going to delay a little bit longer. Fur, Cold, and Phelps, a triangle of death in mid, just waiting for these smokes to expire before they can make their play. Actually, they smoke up connector on their own. Wanting to hold OpTic back. They're going to clear out window room. There's one, not a second for Cold.
Oh, and that's going to probably loosen some of the SK's grip here. And all the tags pretty deadly. Phelps is looking very vulnerable. 5 HP. Desperate to get away, find some sort of respite from this pressure, but OpTic needs to start considering the time. The bomb goes loose near Fur. That's a big problem. But Hazed gets into the matter. They're starting to pinch towards A. Who's going to stop him? Phelps, Fallen, both got a chance.
Yeah, Fallen here in spawn. That's a good spray from Phelps at low HP as well. That's about the best he could have done. When does Fallen make his move? Taco, he recovers nicely. It's all Naf in a 1-on-2, but he's got no clue where Fallen is, and here's the peek, and it's too easy. Fallen, great moves from him. Silent the whole way. A 6th round on the board, but that plant's going to help out with money on the T side.
Yeah. Team ace as well for SK, every single player, getting 1 kill. Always feels nice. Always feels nice.
It does feel nice.
Yeah, sharing is caring.
You are being very optimistic in this match. That's actually a great improvement that I've seen out of you.
OpTic mystic. That's a pun that Alex would do. I'm sorry, it's late. I can only apologize. Because the idea that OpTic have taken this far is pretty damn cool. I don't think this can necessarily apply to a best-of-3 series. Again, love to see it pushed to its limits. But you're already seeing the pedigree showing from SK. That's the thing. They're already starting to show that fortitude, that grit that they can go to if they're pushed on any fronts. They don't look like a team who's almost losing. They look like a team ready at any single point.
And that is the key to their success right there. And also still for ever aggressive despite the scoreline, still making these plays already at top mid. There's a kill from Fallen, just 1. That's going to slow the bomb down. And Hayes heats a nade, just some spray through, and that's all it takes. Actually, no, it's Fallen. A 2nd shot lands on. 2 players from OpTic, Mixwell and Rush, actually rotated back through T-spawn to mid, trying to get in position for a post plant. They catch Fur flanking, probably surprised the hell out of him. Cold, though, taking the fight from range, is going to be able to mop these guys up. All down to just Tarek. Another round on the board for SK. Fallen trying to catch on fire, and actually Tarek's going to get the kill. Now this could get expensive. Now this could be a little bit dicey. Ooh, all right. Tosses it away.
Cruelty, Tarek, cruelty. Wants to cost him that AWP. They know they've got rounds to play with. TheFatRat, just living up to that OpTic name. Just doing 360s. Are you going to get a plant?
How's this happen?
All right, TheFatRat. He's got some moves. I like it. Any more is it? Round of applause, please. You know what, TheFatRat? You may not win the round, but he puts on a show.
And the camaraderie on the OpTic team is at an all-time high. Smiles all around, even in the losing. That plant is so great. Throwing away the AWP as well. Gonna cheer up the teammates. I mean, that could have been, I mean, yes, it's obviously a desperate situation. He's basically just making jumps, spinning to try and mess with the hitboxes. But part of it also, I think, is a knowledge from playing so much of SK. They are extremely patient. I know that Des touched on this earlier in a very, very good way about how patient SK is when they retake. They wait for everyone to get involved. So TheFatRat, knowing that, maybe just says, they're probably sitting so far back, I'll be able to get a plan off here.
Yeah, let's remind ourselves, even though OpTic, there's been a shuffle of small players here and there, and SK did the same to a degree. They do play online CS relatively often. The online section of the Pro League. It's not like they're strangers to each other's playstyle. It sits normally very heavily towards SK. But the scoreline is now 14-7. It's not so one-sided, but a buy comes in. Fallen, Flash, can't see it all. SK now having to work with what information they have, but he still finds Haze somehow. Expecting the play through Palace, not there just yet. A quick flash towards Ramp, might play in his teammate.
Yeah, you imagine coldzera's going to push. Oh, follow the no-scope. There is the push from coldzera. Somehow, TheFatRat fools them all. He gets boosted up. Now they have this 8-bomb site, 3-on-4. Desperate situation, but Fur's there to recover. Yeah,
and Phelps is already on the way around the back, so Mixwell has to have a sixth sense, or something's going to go very wrong for Phelps. Where does he go in this?
It's not up to Mixwell. It's going to be up to Naf. Who's actually...
God, he's gone Palace.
Yeah, he has. This is the duel. This pretty much decides the round, it feels, right here. Naf's waiting for it. Phelps going to turn the corner. Easy headshot. That's a deep angle to clear out. It's so difficult. Rush is low. Somehow he runs the gauntlet as well. He makes it to CT spawn. And now the retake is on. Mixwell tags up Taco. Looking less and less likely. And there's the commit. Naf out Palace. He's going to get both. All three for him. Hope is still alive. 15-7.
More than hope. Naf's coming alive. This guy's looking... Nah, that's not an OpTic t-shirt. Get it out. Get it out of here. That's for next map, all right? When they come back and they win the game 2-1, crushing all hopes and dreams. For now, we are OpTic fans. We're excited for the underdog. We're going to see how this goes. This is big, though. 15-7, and look at the buy from SK. It's absolutely ruined.
Yeah, it really is. OpTic did a great job, even in some losing rounds, of getting kills, draining that economy that had built up early on. This is going to be tough, though. We've seen SK do it before on this very map. Liquid fans, shout out to you.
First to fall is TheFatRat. Hazed. Looking over towards B. There is one man against him, of course. Taco on the other side of that smoke. 3 towards mid, just trying to stay alive. Don't want to lose out here. Taco's got a good feeling on this. Spams away, doesn't connect, but feels it out, falls back towards site. Shows a little bit of presence. But SK again, kind of, I guess, almost stacking towards, the deeper sides of mid. You've got them on the other side of connector. You've got them kind of playing passive in window, but now they're playing out of it. Look at Phelps already starting to move around, starting to feel out where OpTic are going, because this looks like the B hit's going to come in, but there's already 3 players here. Yeah,
great read from SK. There's actually even one already on the flank, but I think that's been spotted out. Yeah, Naf heard the footsteps. Taco's just hiding. He's biding his time, and Haze doesn't clear out the site well enough. Some more pot shots coming out from Taco. He can't land him. Finally under rush, and the backup's here. Dire situation now for OpTic, although nice nade work.
Yeah, and Mixwell is doing something incredible. 36 seconds. Oh, Mixwell! It's a 1v1! No, he loses it! Heartbreak for Mixwell, but another chance in for SK.
Scout headshot to close out the round. Fallen just in time. Still, the economy, though, is so dire for SK. Still so many win conditions for the OpTic side of things, and you can see they want to keep the pressure on. It's going to be another buy. AK on Rush. Tech-9's on the board for everyone else. Mixwell's going to keep some money, though, for the AWP moving forward. Not too much, just sitting at about 1,000.
Tech-9's. That rifle on Rush. But you can see SK already playing quite deep on this. They're already kind of... they can read the money well. They're a great cerebral team in this aspect. They shouldn't be caught out by it. Fur going to take the instant fight. He wants matters in his own hands. Let's see if maybe the Mayhem catches some of SK out. So far, they seem very well accustomed to this. The line of smoke's not really landing as well, but Rush is there. And that's the rifle you wanted to see starting to come in. But he's pretty much alone in this. TheFatRat's not there with him, really, trying to push towards CT, but Rush strikes again. That's 2. The third might be hard to find. Spots him towards CT. Oh, maybe not. Maybe Rush is fine. And he knows he's got a little bit of time here. He knows how SK play, but the self-flash not going to help him. Didn't really catch anyone else either from SK. Bomb to hand, he waits. He sees if they make a move.
Almost. Nice effort from Rush, but again, I mean, even in a loss, there's some success to be taken out of that for OpTic side. 3 kills, still the economy is going to be low. Still it's going to be beat up. They're going to be missing some utility, maybe a kit. Maybe not able to get an M4. So those kills all important from Rush. This time, though, it's going to be a save pretty much the full way. Some upgrades bought, some utility to just see if they can get a plant. But SK, they should be able to sustain, and actually knowing last round is a buy, they know they were going against the armor pistols. They go for the SMGs. And here he comes. Oh, that nade stack, and there it is. So much money is built up. Fallen is next. The SMGs getting all the kills.
And we've been having fun with it, of course. It's a great moment for OpTic, but more than enough credit needs to be given to SK to even grind it back to this part. In back of my mind, I'm wondering, we're going OT. Sure, maybe? Is it really going to happen, SK? You're going to do this to us? Because there's something about this game that doesn't feel over yet. And SK starts to look a little bit more abrasive, a little bit more into it. How much more have you got, OpTic? How many more quirky plays? How many more individuals can shine? We're going to find out pretty soon. 1 minute and 44 seconds, another bite at the cherry here.
What scares me is it almost feels like they've kind of exhausted just strategically some of their options. They've been lining up for a lot of just A default takes right off the bat. Again, this is going to happen. They're going to go for it. Smoke clears, Molotov in the way. Mixwell's going to take his time, clear out all the angles. They've been slowed down, though. But there is all 5 players of OpTic ready to pinch on this bomb set, only 3 players of SK.
Yeah, Fur, Coldzera, and Taco, but they hold it well, but not well enough. Mixwell and Tarek strike. It's down to a 3v3. They've got connector control, and Nav takes it one step further. Can you believe it? This could be happening. It's a 2v1, Fallen again, with the weight of the entire team on his shoulders here. The first map depends on this. OpTic could get a start that no one believed in. And now we wait to see how it happens. The bomb's yet to cross. This is a problem. Fallen could spot it, but he works slowly. The first victim is Tarek. There could be a second.
That's so quick. As you know, Fallen is one-on-one now with Hazed. Former player turned coach, turned player by necessity in a one-on-one. Fallen, I don't think he spotted that move, but there's Hazy, he sees him out, and he does it! OpTic has taken the first map.
Do you know what? They may be an underdog, but every dog has to have its day, and this might just be it. OpTic Gaming picking up map 1. It's a best of 3. It's not over yet. You're against SK. They'll pick this up. They brought back that game to look competitive. They know what they're in for now, though. They understand who they're playing against. We found another one. They've been to the shop again. These guys are keen. They're quick. But boys, we need to take a short break on this one. The desk needs to break that down somehow. Jason, I don't know what to say. Yeah, guys on the desk, we wish you all the best of luck because we don't know what to say anymore.
Hello. We don't know what to say either, Lauren. OpTic have just beaten SK on Mirage.
I know what to say.
Or could we call it DE Optical Illusion? It doesn't make much sense, but they have managed to pick this one up. The first in a best of 3 playoff semi-finals on the line. OpTic, after what felt like a question of they just have to run around and shoot things, was our analysis at the end of that one. Did they do that, Chad?
Yeah, they did. And Alex, got a question for you. Do you know who else had a peanut brain?
Who?
The T-Rex, and that was the king of the Jurassic period. And Tarek and the boys, they really swept in here with an amazing CT half. Those gamble stacks, that aggression, it was perfectly timed.
Yeah.
Looked like they were making amazing reads. Now, I say gambles because the risk they took, if they went the other bomb side, they would have been left in retake situations and it could have gone the other way. But everything they did was perfect. It was great to see.
It's, you know, they win a game in the groups and we chuckle along. They win 2. And we say, hey, Kerrigan's tweet. Hey, everyone, you know, he said they're happy, and you can see it on their faces. No wonder they're happy, 2-0. And then they're in the 3-0 stage, and they're actually made it to playoffs, and we go, okay, they made it to playoffs. They're having fun. There's lack of structure, but they're rocking it. Now they've just taken a map off SK, Yanko. This is a surge of improvement in an impossible to explain amount of time.
Yeah, and in a very, very dominating fashion. I mean, against probably the world's best team on the map, and just shows you what type of a difference it can make when a team plays without any pressure and they just try to have some fun. They change stuff around, you know, get a new in-game leader. Obviously, Tarek can't think of elaborate strategies, right? It has to be a lot of things being called on the fly, maybe a bit more dynamic in their play. But I think the main thing is that everyone is just playing much better individually and just having that confidence back.
Here's a fun one for you. This is the second time this year OpTic has taken a map off SK, has beaten SK.
First time on LAN as well.
First time ever in this year offline. Yeah, that's just proof in the pudding, really, of just exactly how, lack of pressure, having some fun. Tarek's having some fun. He's given them some guidance, and we have received confirmation he is still doing the majority of the calling. Hayes, in an interview, stating his style wasn't working. You throw it to Tarek, and what do you know? It clicks.
Yeah, and it's definitely working. I think there's a lot of interesting plays that they managed to pull off there.
Is there anything you particularly chose to break down on that telestrator? Yanko,
He's the man.
Yeah, we had, like Chad mentioned, the first gun round, OpTic went for aggression towards mid, took the game towards SK, and they managed to win that round. So second gun round, what do? They go for a blind stack towards the A bomb site. As you can see, this is a bit later on. Hayes decides to push towards A apps. We have Rush in site, Naf in CT, and Mixwell is holding a more passive position towards mid because, as you can see, the SK players have mid control, and Taco is lurking outside of A apps. Something that we were mentioning is very important when you want to go for that split. So because we can't really play the clip out, this was the round where Rush got a double kill, and the reason for that is Hayes is going to die here. They're going to get the kill on Mixwell as well, and they're going to spot Naf. So that gives you the position of 3 players on the A bomb side, and you feel if you're SK, well, that's it. We know where we killed 2. We know where the last one is. We can just go for the safe plant here, which is very strong to defend from connector or from the catwalk area. But what happens actually is Rush gets great timing, doesn't get spotted, swings around the triple box, kills the bomb planter, and puts his team in a great position to actually deny the round from SK Gaming. So really tells you how they had a clear plan. They played without any fear in the reset round. So once SK actually won a gun round, the following round you could see OpTic pop flash into A ramp, get a kill there. An Op was playing close towards A apps as well, and within the first 15 seconds they were in a 5v3 situation.
And that, my friends, is the power of one of the individuals, one of the cogs in the OpTic machine. The reason I was scrambling, I certainly wasn't ignoring you, Yanko, but just wanted to make sure I had it right. But I'm pretty sure they were all within like 1 or 2 frags of each other.
Pretty close, right?
There was not one man leading the way. It's not the ancient story of, Tarek unleashing his potential or Mixwell with the AWP carrying. Everyone did their part in this well-oiled OpTic machine. It's
because they outplayed SK as a team. There was no monster individual performance that was winning round for OpTic Gaming. They were just better positioned and in an advantageous situation almost every single round.
And this then starts the discussion that, has to be had. They played better Counter-Strike in this map, Chad. No questions asked. But what do you make of SK? Were they the same SK that we've seen do unspeakable things to Tier 1 opposition on the Mirage?
I think they were just caught completely off guard, by what the OpTic guys were able to throw at them. And the stuff that we're talking about, these gamble stacks, it can be considered a gimmick, right? But when you can't play the same level of theory-based Counter-Strike and you don't have the same level of chemistry as a team like SK, you force yourself into positions where you don't actually have to react. You've already set the trap or you've taken a gamble and it pays off. So that going into the next map, surely the SK are going to realize that that type of play will be in the mix. A good way to beat that is by going fast, in my opinion, right? If you go fast, if you change the tempo, you can catch them off guard. Even if they are doing a stack like that, you're normally going to have yourself a 4v4, maybe even a 5v4 fight in your favor. That's one way to deal with it. The other is to just be even that much more cautious. Something which we praised SK for was those retakes, and we saw there was one situation, it was a 3v3 retake on the A bomb site, and it looked like all the SK guys immediately knew, hey, let's just watch the flanks for 15-20 seconds and not worry about getting caught in any bomb site crossfires. And that's something that SK do really well, is they slowly constrict, and because they weren't in the normal bomb site spots, they weren't there to be constricted, didn't panic, didn't do what Fnatic did, and managed to claw out the victory.
OpTic, clawing it out, sure, like perhaps a T-Rex would. And what those tiny little arms. We'll see if they can get them further on their second map. It's going to be Cash. We'll be talking all about it. OpTic Gaming, one map away from semi-finals. North America throws one left jab to the jaw of the Brazilians. We'll see what happens after our break. But before we do that, Stunner's hanging out in that crowd. Let's check in with him. He looks like he's found an OpTic fan.
I have indeed found an OpTic fan. I'm standing here with Kenny over here on the arena floor. You know what, Kenny? Tell me what you think about this current form of OpTic.
Yeah, I'm actually really happy for them after they failed to qualify for the major, and now they bounced back, and it's nice to see that they can hang with the top teams.
No, definitely that. We see them come in with a brisk, just strong start over on Mirage. We're going to go into Cash next. What is your take on this map?
I hope they win, and I think it's going to be a 16-8.
16-8, just like that.
Just like that.
Well, I do believe I got a little something for you. I think I just do this right here. Yep, there it is. All right, we got a little merch for you. I want to thank you for your time today, and we're going to throw it back to Alex at the desk.
Oh, that's fantastic. There it is, Trey. And not only is he getting some free OpTic merch, he's also having a whale of a time with some more OpTic jerseys and a little even the German flag dedicated to it as well. Jason and Pansy will continue to have fun after the break, but first we're going to be dissecting cash in just a moment.
The Pay Safeguard post-match breakdown.